Hello, everybody. Or nobody for now, because this is a surprise live. So we're going to wait for people to show up and see where this takes us. So wait a few minutes. In the meanwhile, I'll put some announcements here, like our website, for example. Coder Way here. Boom. Money. I guess we can also announce to people, put it on Discord. Welcome to everybody showing up on TikTok right now. Let's see. Do it live now. Share link. Close. Beautiful. There we go. We have some people coming in. Put some on Discord. Oh, there it is. Channel chat. Beautiful. What up, Frank? Dan's Mind. Clive. Welcome, everybody who's joining the chat. Appreciate you guys. Let me also start our stage on Discord so people can join. Welcome Simulation Talk 337. Surprise live. Today I did not announce that I'm going to be coming on just because I wasn't sure exactly what time I can do it. But now we are here. Slowly people coming in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome Simulation Talk 337, the channel revolving around all things simulation. And we're talking about all kinds of things. From science, religion, spirituality, philosophy, God, whatever comes to mind, we do. What up, Melissa? Thank you so much. Thank you for the likes. How are you, MGK313? Anybody who's showing up on X and or YouTube or Twitch, say hi. Twitch is LaserX83 if you guys want to join from there. We'll see a couple more minutes and then I'm sure some more people will show up. People were notified. Thank you so much, Melissa. Much appreciated. Okay. What up, Casey? How are you, brother?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
I was thinking about today. I felt like, I hope it wasn't me, but I felt like the conversation got, it might have been, probably was me actually, derailed from where you were going with it about the video. And I was thinking today that you were possibly headed towards something along the lines of your interview with Andres Gomez, where you guys were talking about like a linear loop of some sort. Were you going somewhere else with that interview that you were showing?
With Bernardo Kastrup and Michael Levin?
Yeah, were you planning on tying in something that you were discussing with your interview with Andres Gomez into
I wanted to make light of the what up, Mikhail? So good to see you, brother. I wanted to make light of how problematic this thing is becoming. New follower. Oh, awesome. Welcome, Melissa. God, you were my FYP. Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming. It's just becoming a real, need for a conversation. But specifically, there were definitely points with Andres that were relevant to this. But remind me what part that you were thinking, because I'm not sure that was the thing that I was trying to go towards, but that would be interesting to discuss if you think it's relevant.
Yeah, I might have to like go and look at it real quick so I don't just.
Sure.
But it was the part where you guys were talking about kind of like I thought it was a linear loop of some sort.
Linear loop.
I don't know, I'll have to go look it up. Come back to you.
Linear couplings, you mean?
Yeah, maybe it was the linear coupling.
Yeah, so there's a particular structure. Yeah, that one. By the way, if you guys don't know what Casey's talking about, I've released a conversation with Andres Gomez. It's available for members already on my YouTube channel on Dango Thoughts, DANGO Thoughts, and it will be available for everybody on Saturday, so you guys can all watch it. If you go to Dango Thoughts and subscribe, it will notify you when it comes out. And Andres is known to be one of the world experts in the phenomenology of these experiences and consciousness and things like this. And so he was talking about a particular occurrence in the brain, linear couplings that have to do, and he was saying that without the ability to do these between minds, you will never be able to actually see each other's consciousness, and you would have to have some form of like real telepathy to be able to deliver that, which is an interesting thought actually. But if you want to go and check it out exactly, because I don't remember the relevance necessarily, but if you want to check it out, that would be great. So is this a simulation? It is a computationally rendered world. Yes. How are you, Terry? Good to see you, brother. You like the members live? So if you guys don't know, every Sunday we do a members live for members only on YouTube. You have to subscribe. You have to become a member, but you get access for the whole month. We do this 4 times a month, every Sunday. Definitely worth it. Yesterday we had a really good one. So MGK is saying, if you like drums and good music, carpentry, art, and good content, drop a follow. Cool. What up, Nico? Good to see you, brother. Manifest talk. I mean, we sometimes drift into these territories, but usually we talk about science mostly, some cutting edge stuff, research of consciousness, philosophy, God, whatever really comes to mind. I guess manifestations are part of the structure, so we sometimes talk about them. How are you doing, Nico? Good to see you.
Got another thing for you.
Sure. Also, MGK is asking if I heard of induced hypoxia. Yeah, familiar. Why do you ask about it? Are you smothering someone? Level 20 Buddha. 1 second. Happy to stumble in your profile. I saw your episode on Danny Jones. Following that. Awesome, Kendall. Good to see you. Welcome to the club. I end up in hypoxia when I do heavy breath work. Oh, well, yeah, that would happen. That happens. And you got to dial it back a little bit. There's no need to get to like these crazy states. I actually also kind of like sometimes my finger just crinkle up. Yeah. And then you just literally can't move them for a little while. I'm very familiar. What's for good? Like button. Yeah, if you guys want to like the live, the algorithms love this. Be highly appreciated. What up, Anjali? First time here after seeing recent interview of yours. Awesome. Which one was it? Dimitri, how are you doing? Welcome all the new listeners and the old listeners. What did you have for me, Casey?
So now that Project Veilbreak's in full swing, I am formally constructing this massive little experiment for it, which is super cool. Taking those notes from 2016 and 17 and applying AI to see if they connect to anything about the Code of Reality experiments. And so far, of course, yeah, I love to be right, and it thinks it does connect, but it's my goal is to put all these notes out there in the Project Jailbreak, and hopefully I'll create some good connections. But
that'll be amazing.
AI is correct, which I await you tearing it apart for it maybe not being correct. But if it is correct, there could be some really cool things going on about predicting the code and stuff like that.
Yeah, so actually one of the things that I really gonna put emphasis now is figuring out why is it that some people takes them a little while to see it. I want to come up with real answers because it's really interesting to me why this happens.
Yeah, that's what this is focusing on partially, is that exact thing.
Okay, well, if we can figure this out, if we can figure this out, that would be amazing. What Casey's talking about, that we've officially launched veilbreak.ai, veilbreak.ai. So just veil like lifting a veil, break.ai, veilbreak, one word, obviously. That's a tool. It's a website where you can go and you can leave your reports about the laser and look at other people's reports. You can do this anonymously if you want. And yeah, anybody who wants to leave some information there, that would be highly, highly valuable. How are you, Turtle? Good to see you, my brother. We don't know what we're talking about yet today, so it's up for grabs. Almost forgot to smash the like button. Also, we have the pleasure of Wildman Ninja being with us. I don't know if he's gonna want to jump on or not, but he went a week ago and did the extended state in Colorado with the amazing Kevin and Haley, and he did the laser protocol and everything. So yeah, if you want to come on and share some of your experiences about it, that would be amazing. You went on, I don't know, I think 2 hours, something like that. That's amazing, man. Or longer, maybe. Crazy weather in LA. I mean, I know, Dimitri. I was just in LA for 1 day, well, 2 days, and it's the weather was kind of crazy. But I mean, what was funny to me is that ever since I moved to LA in 2010, I don't remember 1 year in which LA people didn't talk about the fact that it was raining. It was like, dude, it happens once a year. It's it's winter. They talk about it as if they've never seen it before.
I love that meme where it's like two lawn chairs knocked over and it's all, LA storms, we will rebuild.
Jesus Christ, yeah. It's like, dude, like everywhere else in the country, it snows like blizzard, and within 10 minutes, snow plows, everything is fine, everybody going to work. LA, a couple of drops, everything falls apart immediately. It was the interview with Third Eye Drops. Yeah, that was a really good one. I really enjoyed it. We're gonna do another one, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So look up for that.
Wildman Ninja is raising his hand.
I actually invited him. I don't know if oh, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go. How are you, brother? I can't hear him. Can you hear us?
Oh,
there we go. Awesome. How are you, man?
Doing great, Dan. It's good to hear from you guys.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
I'm just finishing up at work, so I probably don't have good reception, so I don't know if you guys can hear me good.
We can hear you really well, but it's up to you. You can just chill. It's up to you.
I'll just say real quick,
sure.
Danny, mad respect, bro. I did the DMTX, and when I heard about your numbers and how long you went, I was just like, well, there's no way I'm gonna. A little bit of me wanted to go longer and try to beat you, but no, mad respect, bro. I can't believe you did that much and for that long. It's incredible.
Yeah, it was for me. I can't take credit. I love this. I can live there. I can easily be there a week if you can sustain my body. I wanted to keep going. They just were tired, and I get it. Like, also later, this is like a lot of growing pains, but like, I'm loud, and I'm a lot louder when I'm high. And also, it's, as you can see, it's a small space. Yeah, like being with me when I'm like, oh my god, like there for 5 hours. God bless Kevin and Haley.
Danny's the Lionel Messi of DMT, so
yeah. But as my brother-in-law always corrects me because he's a huge soccer fan, and he's like half serious. Told me, yeah, but he's not a leader. I go like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize there's like some soccer politics involved. But anyways, yeah, man. I mean, it truly is blissful, but it can get a little bit overbearing on the body. I think it's because the amount of time that I spend in that space, I really enjoy the cocoon like feeling of it, and I know like it can get a little much on the body, but I used to spend 8, 9, sometimes 10 hours by myself. I would just down 2 vape pens, like I would just like stay in it the whole time. So yeah, it's not exactly extended state, but I think my body got used to it. So I can't really take credit. It wasn't that much of an effort, really.
Wow.
But tell us a little bit about the experience. Even if you don't have to like go in depth if you feel like you don't feel like talking too much. But if you want to, please. I just don't want to put you on the spot if you don't want to.
Oh, for sure. I'll talk a little bit.
Sure.
Like, I have so much DMT at home. I live in a place where it's decriminalized, and
oh, where is
I
that?
got a bunch at home, but I was feeling like I'm not like you, or I'm comfortable with it. I'm kind of like I want to take 1 or 2 hits off my bike pen and just have little experiences here and there. And so doing the DMTX, my main goal was to like try to push past those fears and try to go deeper and try to figure out what rate, and how deep I can actually take it. And and I accomplished those goals, getting to a place where I hit some walls and some barriers where I just couldn't go any deeper. And the visuals were absolutely incredible. I loved seeing all these hieroglyphics that they're streaming across my vision. And I saw like Alex Gray looking paintings with eyeballs everywhere. And I went pretty deep in my like emotional body and going through some traumas, my Marine Corps history, because I'm a veteran.
Oh, wow.
And I did a lot of healing and a lot of growth. So I got my goals in that sense. I still wanted to go deeper, at least like I wanted to be even deeper, but I couldn't tolerate it. So I tried to concentrate on doing your experiment, and we busted out the lasers, and for sure I was like, okay, there's definitely something here. There's a space in the laser, and there's like a wallpaper with all these little squiggles on it. And I was trying to figure out if that's the code, what I was actually looking at. And then I tried to use like the magic eye technique where you're looking at a book and the visual pops up out of you 3D. And I kind of got somewhere with that a little bit. And I'm not too sure because I saw some stuff that was popping out with like a different shading to the I was looking at the green laser, and there was like a dark green and a light green, and some of the shading was kind of popping out. So I'm not sure if I was doing it right, but I was trying to like try, and then I was trying to not try, and I was just trying to focus, but then not focus. But I definitely saw this like room and this space in the laser, and I saw what looked like a wallpaper coated with all these little squiggly lines and little Hebrew type characters on it. And I don't know, man. I think you're onto something with all this. So
I mean,
my hats off to you, man. Mad respect. Because at first I was kind of like, everyone sees code with the DMT, but there's something here.
Yeah. So the Hebrew, what seems to be like the Hebrew letters is exactly what it is. And then the more time you spend with it, the more coherent it becomes. There's a point in which it stops being this kind of like somewhat blurry, kind of like, am I seeing it? Am I not seeing it? And when I think, and right now we're actually trying to figure out, Sean is helping me out with this as well. We're really trying to think critically about what's going on here as to why some people, it takes them a little time. We don't quite understand, because it should just be apparent for everybody, but it isn't immediately. And then, well, one of my assumptions is that there's just so much information. As you saw, there's like so much going on that your brain just tries to learn how to look all of it at once without kind of losing, like it's just like too much. So it's like it's just trying to basically stabilize the whole thing. I think maybe that's part of it. So it's kind of like your brain trying to create neural connection to be able to look at information this way. But the other thing that came up today, which before that I thought about it, but not in that way. And then Sean actually helped me think about it. You know how people, because I asked him, like, do you think that conceptual blindness is a real thing? You know this story that people always tell, that like, when Native Americans saw the ships coming of the conquistadors, they couldn't see them because it didn't make sense to them.
Right.
Now, I don't think that's true. I don't think it can go to that level. There's no reason to believe that that's true. But I wonder if there's such a thing as what I call conceptual blindness. Like, is it possible to some degree that if something doesn't really make sense to you, or like you simply won't be able to like cohere it, like you won't be able to like. But he said, well, I don't know if that works to that degree. So he agreed with me there. But I think that, that whole experiment, welcome to the new member, Compassion FC. And don't forget to tune in also on Sunday for the members live. So he said, that famous experiment that everybody probably knows, right, with the gorilla. And if you don't know, there's this famous experiment. You can look it up. Just do basketball gorilla, and it will be the first thing on YouTube. What they did is basically, I'm just reiterating for anybody who's not familiar. Most people are probably familiar. So basically, they have a bunch of basketball players passing a ball, and then if you want to see if it's going to work on you, don't listen to what I'm saying now. Just turn me off for a second. Go to YouTube, do basketball gorilla, and then just watch and see if it worked on you. So I'm gonna say the thing now. So if you didn't go, you're just gonna find out what it was. But basically, they're passing a ball, and then they tell you count how many times the ball was passed. So you're really focusing on the ball, right? There's a huge percentage of people, I don't remember the exact number, but there's a huge percentage of people. In the middle of this, they have a guy walking into the frame in a full gorilla outfit, and he's just passing in between the basketball players and does a little dance, and then keeps going. There's a huge percentage of people, I think like 80%, that don't see the gorilla because they're doing something else. Their mind is so focused on counting that they just don't see anything other. And it's the same, I forget what the name of the part of the brain, Nico probably knows, reticular something. There's some part of the brain responsible for attention, like pointed attention. So it's the same one that, if you buy a new car and you see that car everywhere all of a sudden, because now you have it, so now you're really paying attention to it. So, and if I tell you to look around the room and to look for only the color red, Tony Robbins does this a lot to illustrate the point. It's like, look for red, look for red, look for red. And then he asks you how many browns were in the room, right? So it's kind of like, okay, if you were looking for one thing, your brain was fully focused. And he said, well, what if, and I realized that's probably true. A lot of the people that have a hard time, when they finally see it, the code, they always go, oh, I thought it was. So they have all of these assumptions what to look for. So then they were not just like natural, like looking in a neutral way. They were like looking for something in particular. They thought it was going to be exactly like the Matrix, or they were looking for zeros and ones, or they had an idea and they were looking for that.
That makes a lot of sense.
So like right now, like I'm telling you, I don't know, like something that looks like self-executing code, but you're saying, I don't know, like kind of like Hebrew, like sure. It's like there's some kind of a language in there, right? But people like see something and they're not sure that that's what we mean, which is, of course, a natural quirk of language. That's how, when you, especially in talking about something that nobody saw before, it's kind of hard to land on that. So the reason I'm going through this whole spiel is because now that I said all of this, because I really want to figure out what's going on. Like, why is it that some people are having such a hard time in the beginning, right? So you did it for the first time. You've never seen it before, but you did say Hebrew letters, which is definitely what you see there. Eventually, by the way, just so you know, if you keep doing this, it will stop being this kind of like blurry, do I see it, do I not? It just becomes super HD. Like it just becomes this clear. Like it's just like it is just there and you can't, it becomes super coherent. So my question to you now after all of this, does that track? Like, would you say that something similar happened to you, or not at all? Like, do you think that you were looking for something in particular and you didn't even realize you were doing it, or not really?
No, I think what you said makes a lot of sense, and that I think that now that I'm back home and I got all this DMT, I'm like, now I just need my own laser because I want to keep pursuing and looking at it, and I'll see, that I think what you're saying will actually come to fruition because I didn't know exactly what I'm looking at. It looked like fingerprints almost, or little squiggly circles, but they were all over this, what I would consider the wallpaper of the room that I'm looking into. And then sometimes I thought I would see like little shadings of things popping out that I could swear was like a little swoosh, like a yod is what they call it in Hebrew. So I was like looking at that, thinking like, oh, I recognize that part, but
there was a lot of alephs and sheens I've noticed. No, but that's interesting because the yod can also be a part of like the little thing that they do in Japanese, which is in the beginning what it looked to me more like. But I think that even the specifics of the characters are not as important as the coherence of the structure itself. Like, it just appears as a very coherent thing. And eventually, when it fully snaps into position, as I'm saying, then it becomes even more convincing. And there's definitely something involved with the ability to converge your attention in a different way. I mean, like, physical focal attention. I don't mean like, some ethereal attention. So, like, the way do you
Right.
focus on an object outside of a window versus looking at the surface of the window. So just kind of like this shift in perspective, which is a muscle right here. So you kind of refocus basically. And what we realized that a lot of people, it's actually the ones that do have a hard time, if you do it in the future, just so you know, the fact that you spend a lot of time really close up, so it forces you to look beyond the surface. That's why we're doing this. Otherwise, it would actually be better to step back and look from afar. But when you look from afar, it's hard to convince your brain that it should look into a wall, which it doesn't make any sense. So it's kind of hard to do that because you would keep looking at the surface, right? But if you spend enough time right at the surface, when you step back, because you're so used to looking at the speckle, your brain will find the speckle inside. It will kind of reconverge. It would make the surface lines blurry. It will blur them out. And you will be staring through the window, so to speak, through the surface. That's what you want to achieve. And the more you can do this on command, just kind of like it's basically bringing 2 points on the surface together with your eye, the way that your eyes focus. Just you bring these 2 points and you kind of bring them together. And you know what's interesting? I mean, this is super anecdotal, but it is interesting to me. I've spoken to more, but 3 different particular people who claim they can see auras. They all told me, all of them, that that's how they do it. And I was like, that's interesting. So it's almost like they say we kind of see space between the space. It's almost like you converge 2 points and then something happens and all of a sudden you can see, especially against a white background. Like if you put your hand, this is something that Sean also told me that he was taught by his grandmother. So anyways, just a lot of pointers, but I think ultimately what it is that if you already saw the characters, that like 80% of the work done. The second you're going to do it the second time, your brain will already know. It will already know how to refocus into it very easily.
Cool. Yeah, I gotta get some lasers because I got plenty of DMT. So
those are easy, man. Just go.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's the simplest laser, brother. It's the ones that you can get on Amazon that has any diffraction pattern at all. Get the simplest ones. The one that you can, I think they went up a little bit now, but I think they're like $15 for like a 3-pack. And just get a battery house and an on and off switch separate, and just connect them. Don't even weld. Don't even solder. Just use a heat shrink. You know, the ones that you just heat up and they just shrink on the thing. Just literally put it as a sleeve, connect the wires, and just heat it up. You're done. You just on and off switch, battery house, preferably with 4 batteries, and one of the lasers. So the cable goes from the laser to the battery house, from the battery house to the on-off switch, from the on-off switch back to the laser, and they just create a circuit basically. That's it. And you just turn it and then just mount it on whatever. It's the simple. You can find all of these details on our Code of Reality website under the do-it-yourself. There's the list on Amazon of what these things look like, these parts. And then just find any one of those things you want, doesn't matter where, as long as they are of the same kind. Because those are the only ones that are low power enough, so you're not going to damage your eyes, and also they definitely deliver the kind of projection you need.
Sweet, good to go. That'd be on my next to-do list.
Amazing.
Another thing I wanted to say was, now that this is kind of like coming out, I'm predicting that, you know, because now that there's something to do with DMT other than just spiritual work or, you know, trying psychedelics, now there's like an actual science experiment. I think there's gonna project DMT into a whole nother level, like the same type of thing. When Joe Rogan mentioned it on his podcast, there's a huge audience that was like, well, what's that? Now I want to try that.
I was one of them.
Coming out, and you got this Code of Reality coming out in Discovery. It's going to make even more people jump onto this, and more people are going to be trying DMT. And just whether they see the code or not, just them getting the experience DMT is a big deal, in my opinion.
Oh, it's a huge, of course, it's the biggest deal. And in fact, what we're trying to do with what we call cognitive physics is that we are trying to actually lift the special case and find the general case. So I think that whatever the molecule is doing, it's a special case, but there's a general case. Like I want to find out what's actually happening. Like what is it doing? So right now we know that it does it reliably, but I want to figure out what is it doing? Like exactly what is it doing that causes you to see this? Because that will bear very deep answers about consciousness and the physical world too. Sorry, by the way, MGK, I wasn't ignoring you. It's just that there's a million comments, and if you're new to the channel, whenever guests come on, we just kind of chat, and then later I kind of go through the comments. If you want to bring a point that you think is super interesting for other people as well, feel free to jump on our Discord. Just search for Code of Reality or Core, COR, on Discord. And the link is actually here in the link tree in the description and on my channel on TikTok as well and on YouTube. You guys can join our Discord. And you can find the stage there, and it's open right now. You can just jump on stage, and I'll bring you up to chat. But actually, if you're on TikTok, yeah, go ahead, brother.
Is it right if I ask Wildman to share a quick, if you're willing to share a quick glimpse into how DMT helps the trauma part for you?
Absolutely. Real quick, just thanks, Danny. I'm about to leave work and I'll be driving home, so I'll mute myself after this, and
Sure.
then I'll just be listening.
Sure.
But to answer your question real quick, I was in the Marine Corps, and when I got out in 2008, I kind of went on a journey trying to figure out like what helps my own personal trauma, and I just kind of like started with smoking weed, and then tried mushrooms, and then kind of was on a quest to try all the psychedelics just because I wanted to see exactly what worked. And turns out all of them work. They're all tremendously great in their own aspect. They all work really well. And then when I finally got to ayahuasca, I had a huge breakthrough where I purged out so much pain and trauma in my own personal life that I was like, well, what's DMT and the ingredient? And I had to dive deeper into that. And I finally got my own DMT that I can just smoke with a vape pen. And I like that even more than ayahuasca. And now that I do DMTX, I'm like, oh my God, like I need to like shout from the rooftops, like, hey, veterans or anybody suffering from trauma, like this stuff really works. It just felt like it sucked pain out. It just like was like a vacuum sucking pain out of me is my actual experience. But also it let me like focus in on whatever I needed to focus in on. Like it was like a laser beam, buddy, using the word laser, but it was like a laser beam going, oh, you want to think about this exact trauma? We'll go in there, dig in there, grab it, work on it, pull it out. And then it was dealt with. It wasn't just like when you talk with a therapist, just talking about it. Like that doesn't help me. That didn't help me at all. And it doesn't help a lot of people, especially veterans, like just talking. But this like went into my psyche and helped me deal with the trauma in a very physical way where it felt like it was literally sucking it out of me. It was amazing to experience. And it brought like that download aspect of like understanding. It wasn't just seeing pretty visuals. It was like feeling them and giving me these uploads or downloads of understanding on how and why. And it's hard to even describe, but it definitely like dealt with the trauma that I was dealing with personally. And whatever these medicines do, they work is what I can report. And I'm trying to now share that with as many veterans as I can. And just as much as Danny wants to share about the laser and the science behind all this, like I think there's a balance here between this like it's a tool. Mm-hmm. The DMT is like a tool that we can use for these things, for these experiences, for therapy, for treat it as a medicine. I think there's a lot to it that we can all explore, and I can tell you from my own personal experience that for trauma, yes, it helped me personally tremendously. Yeah.
No, there's no question. You expressed it perfectly, and that word understanding, I think it's exactly the right word. I think what it does, it moves information through the body and not just through the mind. When we just understand, when we're just in the cerebral, like talking about the thing, you might have some emotional releases, but in this case, you literally have information moving through your body. It's like the knowledge instantiates itself into your body. So that's how you just like your body understands. It's not just your mind understands. And I think that's actually the thing that really opens these possibilities of unknotting. Like all the knots are being like untethered, basically. Thank you so much for sharing, man.
This confirms. I once asked you why no one talks about DMT being therapeutic, and you said it's probably because it's so short, and so the DMTX duration definitely kind of supports that idea. But to what you were saying, I listened to the Andres Gomez podcast yesterday, and with cluster headaches, it seems, Andres uses term of like DMT seems to be unknotting these, undoing these knots in your mind.
Yeah.
Which are, and I feel like trauma is very similar, like knot in your mind, right?
It's like a stuck energetic circuit, basically. Yeah, absolutely. And another thing I wanted to say is, well,
hold on. OCD is kind of a knot too.
Yeah.
How come you said specifically that psilocybin was more therapeutic? Like, how did DMT not unknot? Oh, I guess it was a duration, right?
Maybe, I don't know, because before I ever tried DMT, I already had the whole thing fixed. So I don't know if it would maybe make it quicker. I don't know, but like the mushrooms definitely help. They're along the same channel. They're doing a similar thing in that they reduce the DMN and in that regard. So they kind of create this holistic perspective of the whole, unified field of your consciousness. No, I think it might also work. It's just that, again, it's just very intense. So if you tend to be very jarred by these intense experiences, it might be too much, depending on the person.
Yeah, that's what Andres was saying. It's got to be intense to have it work.
That's true. They also got to register. Actually,
what was really interesting for me is when Andreas was talking about this concept of like describing experiences as linear combinations of other experiences. So, for instance, I think he described 5 and by saying it's a linear combination of a little bit of M or MDMA, a little bit of
K. Yeah.
I think he used like poppers,
K,
right?
M, and DMT, I think.
Yeah, and DMT, which is a really interesting. But then he said at higher doses, it just goes into a whole nother beast. But
it becomes something else completely. Yeah.
Do you think that's a useful framework? Because I was thinking about that a while ago. I never really could grasp it. But do you think that's a useful framework for breaking down experiences and linear combinations?
For people that already were experienced with all of these, but not with somebody who never tried it, you would definitely need, the familiarity with these substances originally. Let me actually just answer MGK real quick, because this is a question was like from like 30 minutes ago. I feel bad. He's saying about the breath work because his hypoxia kind of like causes him to go somewhere else, and he's saying that his question is because he thinks that hypoxia is making him go somewhere else, like he does the release. Well, I think it causes something that something is causing you to go somewhere else. Like it almost unbounds you from the current perception, this channel. I think that's what it does. Which I think it's also what happens to you during the time that you're transitioning. So I would say it's not that far-fetched. The codes are in the laser, not in the wall. No, definitely not. Because when you're moving the laser, the codes are not moving. Otherwise, they will be moving. Could be wrong. All I know is when I open my eyes, when a breath hold starts. Yeah, that's very common, just so you know.
And Danny,
yeah.
Andres mentioned the symmetry notation for how to describe these kind of effects, or I don't know what to call them, like filters that we experience. But have you? I mean, I think it would be cool to add that to Project Jailbreak, but
yeah. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask him. Yeah.
Tried characterizing this in terms of like a symmetry transformation?
It definitely thought about it. It's going to require some work. Let me find. I just remember what I wanted to ask him.
Yeah, I really like the part about memorizing the flashing for frequencies and then be able to identify the same rhythm to see what's going on in the experience. Oh, so good.
Let me text him before I forget. Hold on. I wanted him to actually fill out a report if he's willing. Wild man, there you go.
Yeah, that podcast was really good. I feel like it's not for beginners because they went pretty deep, pretty fast. But I definitely appreciated it. I was listening to every second of it.
Thanks for joining. Hold on, I'll comment on this. Will you please fill out a report on? Oh, man, I don't like Discord. Thanks for joining. It's so annoying. Will you please fill out a report on? If you haven't already. There we go. Money. Okay. So first of all, yeah, I would say it's pretty up there in the technical realm, but I think it was a really fun conversation. I don't think you necessarily have to be an expert to listen to it. I mean, there's podcasts like the Toe podcast, which, you know, there's like professionals at the top of their fields talking about things, and I'm sure that more people listen than just the professionals. And also I see Anjali, I don't know how to pronounce it. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing it.
Well, you know, it was great. It was just that every podcast in this space tends to start with like a very similar set of questions. And I feel like you guys just opened the deep end, which felt like it felt good. It was refreshing. I enjoyed it.
Hey, man,
because you guys went super deep on a lot of like the math.
Yeah, it was a fun one. I'm sure we'll do another one, especially after Andres sees it. That'll be a fun one. And anybody who wants to kind of look what this is all about, go to codeofreality.com, and you have the protocols, the kinds of lasers you need, and everything there. Everybody tell you you're crazy. You're absolutely not crazy. These places are real. What you're experiencing is real, and we just have to come to grips with the fact that this world is a lot more than we currently pretending that we know. Let me see. Charles is saying Hebrew code, but blind is what? Wait. Yeah, I do want to touch on this point that you just mentioned, Nico, that Andres was talking about the frequency, which is interesting. But before that, let me just address a couple of questions. Hebrew, why? Not sure. Also, I don't think it's subjective, to be quite clear. I think it's completely objective what we're saying there. And my best guess, also, I don't think it's actually just Hebrew. I think it's some kind of a discernible language. I don't think it's Hebrew. I don't think it's Japanese. It's kind of like a hybrid between these. You can also see regular numbers. It's not that simple. Don't put too much stock in what people tell you. Just if you're experiencing it, just go with a clear mind. Just try and just look. Don't worry about what you think you're supposed to be seeing there. But if I have to make a guess, I mean, Hebrew is known to be a language that encodes a lot of kind of divine truths. And I don't think it's a coincidence that these shapes, the Hebrew letters, might not be just kind of like human made, but they might be mimicking some energetic arrangements, actually, which is not going to be that crazy of a postulation, to be quite clear. Eric is saying, where's a good place to contact you about sharing data, comparing your experiments to mine, which is different. If you didn't already pick up on it, Eric, that would be veilbreak.ai. Veilbreak.ai. I just put it in the chat, but I'll put it again. There you go, veilbreak.ai. You can go there, leave your experiment. You can also do it anonymously if you want. And you can see other people's experiments as well. If you can't see this Hebrew code, you're blind, is what you're saying. No, it's not what I'm saying. And what I wanted to say is, Anja, you just joined. If you want to chat, just raise your hand and I'll bring you on stage and you can talk, no problem. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I don't know if it's Anjali or Anjali. And again, apologies if I'm mispronouncing. Name is pickpocket and how he plays with attention. Oh yeah, I think I've seen this one before. I just watched it and it was wild. The gorilla almost made it out of the circle before I noticed him. It was a dance that got me. Nice. See? That's how it works. The trick magicians use all the time. Exactly. By Dmitry. I know these are comments that were like way before, but I want to make sure that I'm not skipping most people. And, oh yeah, if you guys want to join our Twitch and help the channel grow, please go to Twitch right now and follow us on LaserX83 on Twitch. LaserX83 on Twitch. See crystal clear without my glasses. Beautiful. Wasn't. Okay. General comments. Ooh, a lot of comments. What up, Yoni? They are starting to do diffraction like testing in gravity with electromagnetism recent and now. Same topic, believe it or not, just without the molecule. Wait, hold on. I think there's a lot of comments before, but I don't know what they're about. Glasses suck. Only just now needing now. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, if you guys want me to follow a thread, it would be better if you don't separate them between texts, because then it's very hard for me to find the previous one. And I'm not sure what the point really was. Yoni is saying they are starting to do diffraction like testing in gravity with electromagnetism recent and now. Same topic, believe it or not, just without the molecule. You mean testing the simulation hypothesis? Channel name is Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project. Hold on. Martin Fleischmann Memorial what? Project. Let's see. This name is very hard to spell for someone with a linguistic handicap like myself. Okay, Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project. There you go. Something on the website. I'll check it out later. I mean, it looks. I'll look it up, and then we'll find out, and I'll tell you what I think. Thank you for sharing. Also, did you guys end up testing the Faraday cage? Yep, definitely tested the Faraday cage. The code doesn't seem to be any different at all. What up, Weehoo Shy? But maybe there's something with the Faraday cage still. I'm not really sure. When we will see the entire script of characters down out on a giant sheet of paper? Not sure. Good question. Dr. Luke! How you doing, my brother? I haven't seen you in so long. Good to see you. Hebrew is what divine truth. I mean, it's known to be one of the oldest languages and encodes pretty interesting relationships. That's for sure. Do you know much about the Hebrew language and the history of it? It is the origin of all other religions. It is the original Western Abrahamic religion. It's the birth of the one that Christianity and Islam came from. And it has a very deep relationship to mysticism and these deep connections, if you believe in the divine, of course. But there's no question that it predates all the other religions and also is known to be really good at encoding all kinds of mathematical relationships. That's not a postulation, that's a fact. Thomas Campbell, good stuff, limiting us to Earth unnecessarily. That's my summation. Dimitri saying, watch your podcast with Andres, pretty good. Did Andres try laser? Thank you, Dimitri. Yeah, it was a great conversation. He tried it. He couldn't. He is one of these people that can't see the code yet. I don't know why, but he said he's going to try it with 5MEO and see if he can find it. So we'll find out. Monotheism came from Zoroastrianism, which created the three world religions. That has more truth than the other. All right. There's no question that the Hebrew language, though, is used for that. So you asked me why would it be Hebrew? That would be one postulation as to why. Not sure why you're getting so worked up about it. Um, um, let's see what other topics we can get into. Hold on, guys. I will address all your points in a moment. The Discord is Code of Reality, or COR. And you can find the link right here in the link tree in the description of TikTok. And the Twitch channel is LaserX83. LaserX83. What up, Tyler? Good to see you, brother. Manifestation is on fire lately. Indeed. Please come to our Discord with pleasure. So character symbols moving towards me before blasted off, before blasting off. Okay. Is the code similar to symbols and characters that some people might see in the corridor? If you're talking about kind of like the Allison Gray, I would say no. It looks more like kind of like a hybrid between katakana, Japanese katakana, and Hebrew. You got it, brother. Okay. It sounds, Turtle, like you have a lot of knowledge that you would like to share. So feel free to come on Discord, because right now with text, it's very difficult. So just like last time, if you want to come on and talk, that would be great. Otherwise, it's very hard to follow this way. And again, just one quick reminder, LaserX83 on Twitch. LaserX83 on Twitch if you guys want to follow. Thank you, Corpus Reality. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, the more people on TikTok, the easier it's going to be to grow that channel and have that going as well. But Andres, yeah. Okay. Let's find out.
Huh? What are you gonna find out?
Let's find out if there's something interesting to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to look through the comments and find out. Anything we can do for you? Now that I can think of at the moment, you can. Not sure. If you guys want to spread the podcast and like kind of like on social media and stuff, that would be great. Kind of post, a link to it, things like this. That would definitely be helpful. I was asking when I smoked changa and closed my eyes, I saw symbols and characters moving towards me before I really blasted off. Do you think these could be the same characters? Could be, but I also know that a lot of different people report different characters. So I think there's different layers of this world. And it's kind of hard to know until we be able to create a real lexicon, so to speak, of this thing. Maybe that would be a fun project for someone. Going to require someone with pretty good short-term memory. Turtle is back in the house. There you go. I'm bringing him up. Let me see. I'm also looking up what you said, Turtle. Want to see Zarathustrian language and if it has any resemblance to what we see in the laser. Maybe some. Maybe like this. It's really hard to say. This is interesting. These are really cool, actually. Let's see. Let's pick up the... Here we go. Put it right there. Oh, wait. He just jumped off. I did drop it, but can't talk. Oh, got it. Okay. So yeah, I'm looking because I don't know enough about it. So let me just look. I'm kind of looking through some of the details as fast as I possibly can that you can do in like a quick search. But I'll obviously look deeper into it because I really enjoyed our conversation last time, Turtle, and I learned a lot. Bennett one saying, "What leads you to believe the pattern beings see are on the surfaces versus the light itself?" Very simple. When you move the light, it's not moving with it. When you move the light, it's literally just revealing the object. It's moving to different sections of the object. It's not moving with the light. If it will be in the light, it will be moving with the light. So the answer to that one is actually very short. So at least according to ChatGPT saying short answer, Zoroastrianism didn't create monotheism, but it strongly influenced later monotheistic traditions, especially Judaism during the Persian period, and helped shape ideas that eventually became central in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Super interesting. So we're talking about the origins of the language, though. So that would be the relevant part here. Zoroastrianism is one of the earliest proto-monotheistic religions. Zoroaster, Zarathustra, who lived somewhere between 1500 to 600 BCE, depending on the scholar, taught that there is one supreme creator, Ahura Mazda, opposed by an evil force, Angra Mainyu. This is sometimes described as dualism, but Zoroaster, I don't know how to pronounce it himself, framed Ahura Mazda as the singular ultimate God, making it proto-monotheistic or ethical monotheism. Judaism shift towards strict monotheism happened right after Persian influence. Early Judaism, before the Babylonian exile, often chose henotheism, worship of one God while accepting others exist. Monolatry, only worshiping Yahweh but not yet denying other gods. Example, the first commandment assumes other gods exist. Exactly. No other gods before me. And also it says, do not worship any other gods. But during the Persian period, when Jews lived under Zarathustrian rule, after Cyrus the Great, Judaism developed ideas that look extremely Zarathustrian. Super interesting. Shared Orpela's concept, angels, demons, Satan as a cosmic opponent. Just so you know, Jews don't believe in Satan. Just so you know that. Resurrection of the dead. Final judgment, heaven and hell. Yeah, so there's no emphasis whatsoever of hell or Satan or anything like this. Judaism talk mostly about the journey towards the divine through matter, which is emphasized. This is why ceremonies are very strong. Christianity inherited both. Christianity combined Jewish monotheism, Zarathustrian style dualism, God versus Satan, apocalyptic structure that are far more Persian than earlier Hebrew tradition. Islam is strictly monotheistic, but the cultural lineage passes through Judaism and Christianity. So any Zoroastrian influence flows indirectly. Final answer, monotheism did not come from Zoroastrianism, but Zoroastrianism was one of the earliest religions to express something close to monotheism, and it heavily influenced Judaism during the Persian period that is in turn shaped Christianity and Islam. If you want, I can map the exact scriptural parallel between, well, we're not going to do it now, but it predate Judaism. Let's see. So first of all, even from what we just read, so first of all, I deeply appreciate it, Turtle. It's always great. You're always bringing new things that I'm not familiar with, which is awesome. Thank you. This one is the most debated question in ancient religion scholarship, but here's the clearest, most accurate way to put it. Zarathustra likely predated monotheistic Judaism, but not Judaism itself. Okay, but in any case, none of this negates what I said. What I was saying is that the Hebrew language is known to be really good at encoding very interesting and intricate meaning tapestries and even mathematical relationships that connect to kind of like predictions, things like this. You know, the whole Zohar thing and Kabbalah, that's basically what it relies on. That stays exactly how I said. And it is the case that Christianity and Islam came out from Judaism originally. So, because they literally they're all Abrahamic. They all came from Abraham. So, all of that stands. Regardless, this is super fascinating, but it doesn't really speak much about the ability of the language to encode what it encodes. So, to the original question, I feel like you were arguing with some other point that I didn't make. To the original question, you asked, why would it be Hebrew? I said, I have no idea, and I don't think it's Hebrew. But if it would be, an interesting thought would be, which is what, for example, things people like Bento believed, which is these Hebrew letters, they're basically energetic arrangements, the way they exist at the core of reality. So these are much more extravagant modern interpretations, but we're just playing around with ideas here, right? I guess we found out, Casey. Well, same case with glass. Yeah, all surfaces. Doesn't matter. Okay. Gonna read some of the stuff from Twitch. Oh, and just so you guys know, this is a good time to announce this. And you know, we're going to be making official announcements on Discord. But like I said, we're revamping our retreat thing. A lot of people asked for it. We're going to do one. Hopefully, the first one is going to be February 28th. Working on it right now, figuring out the details and everything. In the beginning, was the word. No, in the beginning, we have the way we have to do this is we have to basically create one kind of like for the, you know, it's going to be very, very exclusive because we can't take in too many people. We want to make sure that the thing is like flawless. So we're only going to take on 10 people. And so there's going to be a lot of kind of like vetting for this first one. And it has nothing to do with like good person, bad person, anything like this. It's just a matter of compatibility and availability. And also the first one is not going to be that cheap, just so you guys know. So like, the first one's definitely like if you're struggling financially, that one is not for you. We have to do it that way so we can create some infrastructure. So from there, we can create programs that are for basically more and more and more people. That's the goal. The goal is to be able to bring people, even if they can't afford too much. And in order to do that, we have to create an infrastructure that requires capital. In order to raise that capital, we have to do one to the, you know, that cost a little bit more. So, but we're going to be dropping the form. If you're interested and you think it's not a problem for you, please find us on Discord and we'll drop a form there soon, and you can fill in the information, and then we can do a call. And if it all fits, then please, we'll sign you up. But there's probably only going to be 10, maybe 12 spots max, and then we'll obviously do more, and they'll go down in price for sure substantially. So, just wanted to give this like early announcement. So if you guys are already interested, make sure you can even feel free to even email me about it. If it's about this particular subject, you can email me to dangoprox@gmail.com, dangoprox@gmail.com. Once again, it's dangoprox@gmail.com. Just tell me that you're interested in that, and I'll send you the form to fill out, and you know, so we can see if there's a match there. The other thing is, to the question of, you know, what you guys can do for me, anything that has to do with helping the channel grow. Currently the channel, you know, is slowly, steadily growing. Let's see if we can bring it up a little bit so we can also bring up the level of production. The second the channel makes a little bit more, I can amp up the production. It's going to look nicer. It's going to be better. We're going to bring better guests, and so on and so forth. Okay.
by the way, I saw Chase P was on the Sean Ryan podcast talking about the laser a couple days ago.
Yeah, that was a great shout out. Chase called me right after he got off that conversation with Sean. Said he was talking,
Cool.
and then he just did the extended state himself. We connected him with Kevin and Haley. What up, Vanil? Thank you so much. Appreciate the gift. Thank you for the roses. And yeah, of course, come follow the YouTube channel, which is the main channel. Dango Thoughts, DANGO Thoughts on YouTube. If you haven't already joined, and come join the membership program, because the membership program gives you early access to all my content. Right now, the conversation with Andres Gomez is already available for paying members, and it's going to be available for everybody else on Saturday. But you always get this early access to these videos when they come out. Also, it gives you access to my weekly lives every Sunday for members only. There was a really fun one yesterday, and of course, you can watch all of them from the past. They're a lot of fun. We dive much deeper into topics. And if you sign up for the second tier and upwards, make sure you email me to the email listed there, which is a different email, so I can send you an invite to our monthly Zoom calls. Okay. All of that being said, let me look at some more of the points. Religion is social engineering has held us back for centuries. I used to think this. I'm not so sure anymore. Maybe in some ways, and maybe actually held us from destroying ourselves for some of it. Much love, Terry. Is there a level of impairment where it becomes hard to coordinate actually trying to view the laser? I mean, of course. Yeah, you definitely want to not want to go so deep that you can't even function. Anything of note? Do you have changed your mind about perspective on it the last few months? What specifically, Shai? Like what? Changed my mind about what? About the laser experiment specifically? What up, Jackie? No worries, Turtle. Come back any day, brother. You're always a pleasure. Have you seen Polarity's channel? He gets like 3K people in the chat and mentions you most streams. No, I don't know that one. But thank you so much. Did you say Polarity? Let's see, Polarity YouTube. Can you share that link with me on Polarity Music, you mean? Is that the guy? Don't know. Let's see. Live. Not sure. Is that the guy? Polarity Music? If so, thank you, Polarity. Much appreciated. If you're ever there, tell him I said thank you. Yeah, I'm familiar with the holographic universe. I read it. Funny how Scotland is Christian, because on either side was I can't even pronounce that word. Thank you so much, Jackie. I appreciate it. UFO, cool. Amazing. It says Polarity Music, so I guess it's something else. Okay, so let's see what else we can dive into. That was a fun one. There's definitely, I love discovering new things that I didn't know before on the lives. Let's see if I missed any comments. I think we actually covered most of them, to be honest, which is kind of awesome. Thank you so much. I did enjoy the shout out on the Sean Ryan show for sure. Tash is on a plane from New Zealand. Woo! The new northwest as we speak. I'm so excited. I found my twin flame for sure. That's amazing. Flame mother. Let's go, baby. In my culture, we have the dream times. I remember dream time. Sorry, it's the nation's will to power. I don't know how else to put it. Yeah, I was very educated on this, and that was fascinating. So I would love for you to come on another live when you can and discuss this other topic about Zarathustrianism. My closest familiarity with Zarathustrianism is just reading Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra. That was a joke. Not that I read it, but, anyways. What up, Ellipsian? Good to see you. Okay. So I think it was a good run. If you guys want to follow me across platforms, it will be Danny Goller on TikTok and Instagram. It will be Goller Danny on X, LaserX83 on Twitch. Again, it's LaserX83 on Twitch. And Dango Thoughts on YouTube, DANGO Thoughts on YouTube. Please come join the membership program on YouTube, which will give you early access to all my content. My conversation with Andres Gomez is already live from paying members. And please grab yourself some item from the clothing shop or whatever it's called. What do you call that? Just the YouTube shop? I don't know what to call it. But merch. There you go, merch shop. Thank you. Whatever you grab, it helps the channel tremendously. And those are really cool designs. Core designs and Human First designs. Human First is the campaign to denote, to encourage us to treat each other as humans first before any political affiliation or any conviction about the world. Before anything else, we're humans and we should treat each other as such. That's what it's about. Also, you can check out my new show on Spotify called 0 to 1 with Danny Goller, from Earthbound Minds to Cosmic Citizens. Once again, it's 0 to 1 with Danny Goller. For short, come check it out on Spotify. The show that talks about the future of humanity and what we are in this world and what does it mean to advance personally, collectively, technologically, spiritually, and all the good stuff. Also, if you want to check out the stuff about the laser, you can go to codeofreality.com, and you have the protocols, the lasers, everything there. And if you want to share your experiments or watch or see other people's experiments, you can go to veilbreak.ai, veilbreak.ai. Once again, veilbreak.ai. I'm going to put it in the chat now. One more time. And you can do this also anonymously if you want. It's a really cool tool that Carmelo and David Carter built. Thank you so much, Carmelo, for working on it. Thank you so much, David Carter, for managing this whole thing. Really, really much appreciated. Without that would not be without you guys, it would not be possible. If you still want to donate to the film called The Discovery, it's going to come out in the beginning of next year. It's going to be bomb. You guys going to love this film. It really is incredible. Aaron Venden, shout out to Aaron, the director. He is just a master at what he does. And Chris Paris, our producer, who also is an editor on the film. They're both are just machines, and they're such incredible creative individuals. It would be amazing. So if you still want to donate to the post-production portion of the film, you can find the link to our GoFundMe page under the trailer of the film, which is on my channel. You can just go to Dango Thoughts on YouTube, DANGO Thoughts, and just type in The Discovery. You'll find the trailer, or you can just follow the link under this live right now. There's the second link on the bottom. It's the trailer for the old trailer for The Discovery, and you can find the GoFundMe page there. Any donation received with gratitude, because production is a very, very cost intensive business. And if you donate over $1,000, you will automatically be added to the list of people who will for sure will see the movie together as a world premiere together with Q&A and everything. You're going to be the first one in the world to ever see this movie. I think it's pretty amazing. If not, we're going to make sure that you see the movie. We're going to put it out in all the good places. We're not sure exactly how and where because we're working on distribution, but it's going to happen. What else? I think that's it. I think that we covered everything. So I would like to acknowledge our incredible moderator, Guru. Thank you so much, brother, for always being here, being so loyal, and being so amazing at what you do. Thank you. Our moderator on YouTube and on Discord, and Chris was not with us today, but thank you so much as well. And thank you so much for you, the audience members, who make this channel what it is. Without you, nothing's happening. I was just talking to myself. So thank you so much for the new members, for the old members, and for all the people that are following daily. Thank you so much for making this experience awesome, for coming on, for commenting, for asking, for debating. All of this is amazing. I really, really appreciate it. I think that's it. Casey, Nico, thank you guys. Thank you so much for everybody who participated, who shared. Turtle, thank you so much for all the information. And that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love. Ciao, everyone. Good night, guys.